Well, we are now ready for a swordfish. 3-bean relish. Very, very, very simple. I'm going to mix everything in a bowl, but you know what? I'm waiting the last minutes to do it. I don't want the ingredient to lose their identity. I mean, I have tomatoes, I have beans, I have onions. I don't want the onion to bleed. I don't want the tomato to lose their texture, and I sure don't want the black bean to bleed on the white bean. Very, very simple to do. Let me start it. I put it right here on a bowl. Or you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grill the fish. Then it's been marinated now. But I'll do that later. And you know what? I'm going to start getting ahead with my relish. I am going to put some red kidney bean. Right over here, 1/3 cup of red kidney bean. By the way, beans. Some of you are there concerned with beans and a little scared to cook beans. You know how simple they are to do? They are so easy. Use the quick method unless you know you're going to do that the next day. In which case, suppose you know you're going to do it the next day. All you need to do is take your bean and let them soak overnight. What that does, that rehydrate the skin so it will be soft. That's all very simple. If you don't have time or you forgot to do it overnight, piece of cake, don't worry about it. Just take some water, cover the beans up, then bring it to boil. Put a cover on a pot and let them cook, let them steam themselves for 1.5 hours. But whatever you do, please don't overcook the bean. If you overcook them, they will be soft, they will be soggy, they will have no texture. And another thing, please don't use canned beans. No matter what they do to those cans, they're still too soft, they're mushy, they have no texture. So you don't want to use those. Now, we have a red kidney bean, 1/3 cup, equal amount of black beans, and equal amount of white bean, great Nora beans, that's what I use. But use whatever bean you want. As a matter of fact, you know, you want to use 4, 5, 6 kind of beans. That's okay with me too. Try to use the bean of the same size also. Very important when you do a relish or salsa, the size is very important. Now, we're putting some tomato concassé. You know tomato concassé is seeded and peeled where you take the skin off for the texture of the tomato. Tomato concassé, peel and seed tomato. The same amount right here equal. Now, I'm going to put that on the side and I'm going to cut a red onion. I want to show you to cut a red onion. Now, some of you have seen me do it before because, you know, I did the shallots. When I did the shallots, I explained how to do it. But just in case you didn't see my show before, I'll show you how to cut an onion. Very, very simple to cut. Cut the onion lengthwise. What I mean by lengthwise, you see the lines of the onion right here? All you got to do is just follow that line. Now, the most beautiful things about onion is then it'll tell you how to cut it. All you got to do is follow the line. Very simple. Look. Okay, I have an onion here. As you can see, there's lines right over here. And all we have to do now is follow the line and cut the onion nice. And oh, see how simple it is? Oh, by the way, I got to show you something. I'm not telling you, but I'm cutting 75% of the onion right here. You see, I'm not going all the way through. I'm cutting 75%, which means if I don't cut that out, that will hold the onion together. So I'm cutting all the way through, 75% of the way, like that, very simple. Then I'm going to turn the onion around. When do you see? You got to do that when you want to cut equal pieces of onion. That's the only way to do it. There's no other way to do it. So learn this way, then you can always do it. Now I'm putting the knife over here. Can we see it? I'll go it very slowly. I want to make sure you see it. Now take your fingers off now. Make sure you don't keep your finger in the way because they will cut. I'm going to cut it over here on the side. Now sometimes it falls a little bit apart. No problem. Take whatever falls apart, dispose of it or chop them up a little fine later. Now look what I'm doing. You see? As you can see, now it's all equal size pieces of onion. Very, very simple. And you must have equal size. That is so important to have equal size pieces of onion. So, and when you eat it, you don't have a big piece. You don't have a little piece. It's all equal, especially when you make a salsa or relish. So here I'm putting about, what would you say? That's about 1/3 cup. Now that's another thing too. I know we need to measure. But you can't always measure exactly. I don't want you to go out there with a measuring cup and measure 1/3 cup. Just a little bit, kind of 1/3 cup. Okay, holy macaroni. Now, I'm going to start with my fish that has been marinated. First, I want to use a little non-stick spray. Do yourself a favor. When you grill, also use a non-stick spray. Now, I have a beautiful piece of swordfish right here that has been marinated. You know, swordfish is kind of a dry fish, a very firm texture. So when you marinate it, you infuse so much flavor and moisture to it. You must do that. It's very important, especially for saltfish. It will enhance the flavor, the moisture like you won't believe. Now, I did it very simple. A little olive oil, so half a cup, 3/4 cup of olive oil, a little garlic, a little soy sauce, a little fresh ginger, and it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now I'm going to take that piece of saltfish, and I'm going to kind of dry the excess oil and marinate it that I have on top of it, because I really don't want it to be burning. So I just do that like that. Look how simple that is. And I'm going to take my piece of fish here. I'm just getting rid of little excess over here. And I'm putting that on my grill, and I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let the mark get down by itself. And I'm going to finish my relish. Very, very simple. Let me put the rest of the ingredients. I have some basil leaf. If I have a minute, I'll show you how to cut those. Very, very simple. I'm going to put about, that would set up a 3-4 nice big basil leaves. Very simple. Then I'm putting 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Very, very small piece. Because, you know, you're kind of eating a raw, and you don't want a piece of garlic to be stuck in your teeth. That's not very good. Now we have a half a cup of olive oil. And please, please, please use extra virgin olive oil. Very important, especially when you don't cook it. Let me check the fish now, because I don't want to be talking too much. Oh, yes. I'm going to turn it. Look, I'm turning it up just a quarter turn. That's all. I want to make a nice crisscross mark. I use a nice spatula to do it. Then I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. And I mean balsamic vinegar, please. Then we're doing 2 tablespoons of prepared horseradish. Very simple, right? 2 tablespoons of, now, a little salt. Excuse me, about a 1/4 cup of salt. Not a 1/4 cup. A 1/4 teaspoon, oh mamma mia, say a 1/4 cup of salt, we'll be in big trouble. And a 1/4 cup of freshly ground black pepper, which I have ground before the show. Now, I'm going to mix everything together. Let me check my fish now. Make sure everything is okay. I'm going to flip it on the other side. And here it is. Oh, it's looking marvelous. See that nice crisscross mark? Oh, I love it. Now, I'm going to put all that right in there. I'm going to mix my relish. Oh, if you could smell all of those flavors marrying together, oh, you would love it. It's so wonderful. I got to hurry because the fish is cooking. As you see, by the way, the fish only takes a couple of minutes to cook. It doesn't take any time at all to cook the saltfish, you know. It cooks so very, very, very fast. Very simple to do it. Usually it takes, well, look how long it took me, yeah? 2-3 minutes, because whatever you do, you don't want to overcook it. You want to cook saltfish enough, but you don't want to overcook it, because then all of a sudden it will be dry. And that's why you must also marinate. Now look how nice that is. Now, you know, I put a little too much here. No, actually it's not. Then I'm going to, let me make sure it's okay over here, because I'm going to flip it also. Whoop, flip it a little bit, then I get a crisscross mark on the other side. Oh, all right, let me find my chives. What I'm going to do is just decorate it. Very simple. Remember, on Sunshine Cuisine, we don't just throw food on the plate. We decorate it because it has to look good, to taste good. It's just as important. It's one of the ingredients of food. The looks. Don't think it only has to taste good. Please, whatever you do, you have to tell your brain that it's going to taste good. And the only way you do that is by making it look pretty. So what I did is I took a little garlic chives, very simple, cut a little point into them. Very simple. I mean, you can do that with regular chives. You can do it with anything you want, really. Let me see if the fish is ready. The fish is perfect. Now, how do I know whether the fish is perfect? Whoa, it is so beautiful. Look at that. How do I know the fish is perfect? It's very simple. What you cook saltfish, first of all, you give it a nice grill mark. If it's about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick, that's usually enough. It takes about 2.5-3 minutes on each side. And what happens is, it's still, see, it feels nice to the touch where it's not too soft, it's not too hard, it just feels kind of a little bouncy, and that means it's ready. It's very simple. Look how beautiful it looks. I promise you, it tastes unbelievable.
Grilled swordfish with a 3-bean salsa. For a salsa, we begin with 1/3 cup of red kidney beans, 1/3 cup of black beans, 1/3 cup of white beans, 1/2 cup of tomato concassé, 1/2 cup of red onion, 1 tablespoon of finely chopped basil leaves, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of horseradish, salt and pepper to taste. And for the swordfish, we'll need 4 swordfish steaks, 8 to 10 ounces each, marinated in 1 cup of olive oil, 2 garlic cloves cut in half, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of ginger, and 2 tablespoons of lime juice.